Welcome to Beyond the Veil, where your questions meet real talk about faith, culture, and life. It's your space, your story. No judgment. Let's dive in.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you, whatever time zone in the world you may be tuning in right now. Welcome to the very first episode of Beyond the Veil, where we discuss topics related to culture, topics related to faith, and topics related to life. I want to say thank you very much for being here. And today we'll be looking at a very interesting topic that we've heard time and again, which is actually the core of everything we do, titled timing. So before we dive right into it, I want to say that every topic is going to be a series that will cut across every influence of life. And yes, I trust God that is going to be impactful. I trust God that is going to be a contribution of value to you. So yeah, timing. And of course, this is not a new topic or this is not a new concept. Many of us have had it time and again in school, in our workplace, in church, or probably wherever. We've had it at some point in our life. But permit me to start with asking a few questions. Have you ever felt like you're racing against the clock? Or maybe you've had those moments when everything just seems to click, like everything at that point in time was aligning in your favor. Or have you ever had a point in your time that you are grateful to God that you met a particular person at a particular time, or you were given an opportunity at a particular time and you utilized it? So that's what we're talking about today. We'll be looking at two different kinds of timing, the Chronos and the Kairos, and how knowing them can change how we work, how we live, and how we pursue our goal. Let's move down to the basic concepts. What are the Chronos and the Kairos timing? So for those of us who have probably heard of Chronos or Kairos and probably don't know what it means. So Chronos and Kairos are just Greek terms. Chronos means the chronological time, which is represented by minutes, hours, days, and weeks. So it's a type of time that is predictable, quantifiable, and structured. So that's the one that you have in your clock. So for instance, you have a meeting by 10 a.m. or you have a birthday party scheduled for 4 p.m. or probably you have a deadline to meet this coming Friday. So all of this has to do with chronological time. So for Kairos, on the other hand, speaks about the right moment, speaks about opportunity, about the quality of the time, not the quantity. For instance, just like I've said, you meet someone random and the conversation transforms your life. So speaking of which, why is understanding timing important? Why do we have to understand timing? Of course, we've had it, just like I've said, we've had it time and again. Timing, the concept of time, the concept of maximizing time, or we've had it that, make use of your time properly. So why do we need to understand timing? Why does it really matter? So living in a world where, as a Gen Z, it seems as though the world is always on, never taking a break. So I feel, in my opinion, that one of the reasons that we should understand timing is because it would help to prevent burnout. Each and every one of us will run the danger of experiencing burnout if we are overly preoccupied with the chronos, overly preoccupied with adhering or meeting up to deadlines. I'm not saying meeting up to deadlines is bad, but what I'm trying to say is when we become overly preoccupied with the chronos, so we have what is known as constant time pressure, which causes stress and possibly long-term issues. According to a research by the Harvard Business School, Harvard Business School, they reviewed that burnout causes between 125 and 200 billion dollars in medical expenses each year. So think of the emotional toll it takes for you to cost that much. So another reason why we should understand timing is that it helps us seize the moment, right? It helps us seize the moment. So life-altering Kairos moments or opportunities are possible. The problem is that are we able to recognize them? Are we able to recognize them? Are we conscious of them? Can we identify the Kairos moments, or we risk missing what is going on around us because our attention is solely on the chronological time. And the last reason I feel we should understand timing is because it will help us to juggle between the two, juggle between the Chronos and also juggle between the Kairos moments. So I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So these are the three reasons that I want us to, or I feel, understanding the concept of timing really matter. Just as a Gen Z in this world, like I said, the world is ever on. There's no break at all. Permit me to say that the Chronos has to do with preparation. This is just something that just came up and I feel I should share. Chronos has to do with preparation and Kairos has to do with launching out, right? So I would say Chronos in preparation lives in the chronological time, and it's all about discipline to put in the work in the hours. To think of an athletic training for the Olympics, the countless days of practice, the early mornings, the discipline in meals. Or for example, you're starting up a business. So in the chronological time, you begin to prepare, writing a business plan, building your products, or learning on YouTube, buying that course, learning how the market works, devoting time, attending seminars and conferences. So this has to do with preparation, like it's a daily grind. While Kairos on the other has to do with launching out, right? So launching is where the opportunity shines. It's knowing when to step out. So for example, in agriculture, a farmer doesn't just plant a seed or crop or harvest crops randomly. They are attuned to what is known as seasons. They are attuned with the planting seasons. They are in tune with the harvest season. So likewise, when you are prepared, you sense when the time is ripe to act. When you're prepared, like when you are prepared, you can sense when it is the right time to act. I would like to give us 3 relatable examples, right, as to this concept of preparation and timing. I feel it's something that is important that in this generation we need to get acquainted with. We need to come to the understanding of what it means to prepare, as to the importance of preparation, as to the importance of launching out. First one I would like to call on or describe is Oprah Winfrey. So Oprah wasn't that worldwide media tycoon as she is now. But did you know that at the beginning of her journey, she was deemed unfit for the television? So imagine how that would have impacted her or informed her to be told that she wasn't eligible for that same thing that she has dreamed of. So put herself in her shoes and you probably just set out, right? And somebody tells you you are unfit for that thing you feel is your dream. That may discourage some of us. That may in a way put some of us like, okay, I'm not doing it again. I am not doing this again. I am unfit. Some of us may become depressed. I don't know if you understand. But that not in any way discourage Oprah. So rather she puts in the hours behind the scene, owning and hosting abilities and building a genuine rapport with her viewers. She spent the years preparing for the day she would receive an invitation to host her own talk show. And of course, she was prepared to take off when the time came, and the rest they say is history. So what is that important lesson we can learn from her story? The lesson I think everyone should learn is that timing isn't only about waiting for the appropriate moment. It's also about getting ready so you can completely embrace the moment when it arrives. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. And you can completely embrace, you can take advantage of the opportunity when it arrives. So consider this now. What are you doing right now to get ready for the opportunity you are open to access? What are you doing right now to fully maximize the stage when you are given the opportunity? I don't know if you get what I'm saying there. And another person that I want to draw our attention to is a popular figure which you all know as Usain Bolt, the athlete. So the world fastest guy, we all know the guy, it's quite popular. But it's simple to assume that the guy just showed up and sprinted when we witnessed his famous performance on the track. However, we probably must have ignored, or it just didn't come to our mind, the years of preparation that went into each medal and record. The information I got through research was that he began training at an early age, overcoming obstacles, and of course there were injuries along the way, even though there were times that giving up would have been simpler, but he persisted. So that is what happens in ecological time. Persistence, discipline, right? Putting in the work. That's what we do in the chronological time. Discipline, putting the work in the right hours. Then came the Kairos moment for him, right? In 2008 Beijing Olympics. The entire globe were watching. I was watching. I can't even remember if I probably watched it live, but at least I saw the highlights, but I can't remember if I watched it live. So when he took to the track, he made history in 9 seconds, maybe 9.8 seconds or so, but I can't remember the exact time, but at least it was less than 10 seconds. It was the timing that made all of his preparation pay off. So his stories make me to think of something I've had before, that when opportunity meets preparation, it comes together to create success, right? When opportunity comes and you have preparation, it comes, and what the result of the coming together produces success. So it's about being prepared. That is the chronological time. Being prepared for that moment when it arrives is much more important than simply being in the right location in the right time. So many of us feel, oh yes, I have to be at the right place at the right time, which is perfect, to be very honest. I believe in that too, in being in the right place at the right time. But the question is, when we get to the right place at the right time, when the opportunity presents itself, in what way can we maximize the opportunity when whatever we are praying for arrives, when whatever we are trusting God for arrives, what that dream, when it does arrives, the question is, how prepared are we to maximize the opportunity? How prepared are we to fully take on the stage? Oh, tomorrow I'm going to speak to world leaders. Tomorrow I'm going to talk to board investors about my business, pitch to them my ideas. But the question is, right now, what are you doing? Right now, what are you doing? Can you, if you probably want to speak to world leaders, you want to apply for a job somewhere, a job somewhere. Sometimes they ask, what have you done? Or I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. What have you done? What have you been doing before now? When it comes to presenting before board leaders, how is your presentation skills? Okay, before a board, how is your presentation skills? These are things that matters. And another example that I would love to give will be from the Bible, from the scriptures, and that will be David. I would say he's one of my favorite timing examples. He was a shepherd, though he was a young boy, minded the sheep. But before he became a king, before he became a warrior, please do not overlook this. He was prepared during that season when he was in the field. David learned how to protect his flock using his sling, and most importantly, trusting God while caring for the sheep. At the time, none of this felt significant. At the time, none of this felt exciting. But those minor triumphs helped him to get ready for his major public moment, which was taking on Goliath. So David didn't have to utilize anyone else's plan. He didn't have to borrow Saul's armory when the time came, because he had been faithful in his preparation. Oh, the guy who faced the bear. You get, like, when he came to face Goliath, what he said was, this is what I did, this is what I've done. I don't even get what I'm saying. So this Goliath is small compared to, look at what I faced when I was in the field. So this is small. So he was prepared to take on the moment. He was prepared to seize the moment. So David was prepared to launch when the time arrived, thanks to his preparatory season. So I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So despite the fact that each of these persons live different lives, like Oprah, David, and Usain Bolt, but they all have one thing in common, which I will call timing. Working while you wait is just as important as waiting for the ideal opportunity. Working while you wait, preparing while you wait, doing something while you wait, maximizing your preparatory season is as important as waiting for the ideal moment. It's about getting ready behind the scenes so that when you are prepared to shine, the moment comes and you can handle it effectively. So it's possible that you are, of course, right now in your period of preparation. Perhaps you are putting in a lot of effort, you're putting in a lot of work, and it seems that no one is noticing you. And it seems like no one is paying attention to whatever you're doing, to whatever stuff you've made of. But believe me, we need this season. We need this season of preparation. God can use our readiness to own, to fortify, and to prepare us for whatever lies ahead. Like I'm saying this with conviction in my heart. God uses our preparation to own, to fortify, and to prepare us for whatever He has prepared for us in the future. That when the moment comes, we have adequate that is the word adequate capacity. Yes, that's the phrase I want to use. We have adequate capacity to seize the moment. We have adequate capacity to just take on the stage when it comes. So that is just it. So what then is, because I realize that sometimes we have issues with having or creating practical tips. Like having practical tips. So this is what I would suggest. First thing first, I believe setting your priorities straight is important, because we are in a world that we are easily distracted, of course, from TikTok to binging YouTube videos. Exactly right now, when you can watch movies on YouTube, to moving to Twitter, to moving to Instagram. We are in a world that is full of distractions. So I believe that it's important that we first of all set our priorities straight. What do I want? What can I do? Or what do I have to do rather? What do I have to do? Then I have to track my time. We have resources such as Google Calendar or even a simple planner to make you stay on top of your time. But I want you to remember something, that the Chronos, the chronological time, is your framework. Is your framework, and you have to stay on top of your time. And secondly, I believe that you shouldn't wait, or I believe that there is no perfect time to prepare. Don't wait for the perfect time to prepare, because there is no perfect time to prepare. The perfect time comes to those who are ready. That is just the honest truth. The perfect time comes to those who are ready. There is no perfect time to prepare. And another thing I would like to say is sometimes others can see the Kairos moment before us, which is why it's important that you surround yourself with mentors and friends who can offer you perspective. To be very honest, at times whereby your Kairos moments come and you are not conscious of it. Your Kairos moments come and you cannot identify it. You are before your Kairos moment, and to be very honest, you don't know your Kairos moment has arrived. It takes mentors, sometimes friends. They may not even see it or even identify it, but when they give you a perspective like, bro, prepare. You don't know why they are calling you. They must have seen what you've done. They must have seen what you are doing. Like, funny enough, like someone said, I could remember a time that also happened to me too. And two people who didn't know each other said the same thing, and they were like, guy, prepare. You do not know, just prepare. And one of them made a statement and said, Kelvin, we've been watching you. You don't know who is watching you, but we've been watching you. So this is an opportunity to present yourself. So prepare. So sometimes you may just feel, I beg, what is there? That small stage. Funny enough, that thing that you call a small stage or a small audience could actually be your Kairos moment, because there could be someone in that audience that could be the key to your next level, that could be the key to your breakthrough. Someone who doesn't know you, or probably person has been seeing you around, but you guys never had a form of interaction, or just do not know who that person is in terms of status, or who that person knows. Then you come to the stage, then you have your moment, and you kill it. You killed it, literally kill it. You just did your stuff. But due to preparation, you just did your stuff. Based on capacity, you delivered. Not expecting anything, just seizing the moment. Then all of a sudden, people start reaching out to you. Oh, I saw this work that you did. Oh, I saw this thing that you said. And you're like, I was just being me. You never had any idea whatsoever that was a Kairos moment for you. You had no idea. But yet, due to preparation, due to owning your skills, due to increasing your capacity when no one was paying attention, when it didn't seem convenient for you, due to maximizing your chronological time, due to maximizing your chronos, you're able to deliver. And that is how it works. It's all about timing. And the signs of both the chronological time and the opportunity are gifts. We enter into a cycle of life that is not only fruitful but also significant, when we learn to strike a balance between the two of them. Like I said, we may not be able to identify the Kairos moment because sometimes we may be ignorant of it. We are not conscious of, an opportunity has presented himself. But what we've done would help us. So I don't know if you get what I'm saying. So here's my question to you at this point. Are you making the most of your preparatory season? Whether you're in school, whether you're at work, even in your season of waiting. Just like I've said, there's no perfect time to prepare. Now is the perfect time. It's not just about showing up in the right location at the right time, but it's also being prepared. What you are doing while waiting is so much more as important as showing up at the right place at the right time. So always remember that God's timing is always perfect, and we have a part to play in order to be ready. So before we wrap this up, I want to leave us with these scriptures, which is Galatians 6:9. Let us not go weary in doing good, for in due season we will reap if we do not give up. But I like to say, in our preparatory season, we should not be weary in preparing, because when is the due season, we will reap if we do not give up. What do you think? How did you manage your chronos? How were you able to identify your Kairos moments? I would love to hear from you. So thank you very much for listening to Beyond the Veil. So if this episode resonates with you, please share with somebody who might need a little bit of encouragement. So we have come to the end of this episode of timing, and yeah, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you stayed to the very end. So let me just end it by saying, stay prepared, stay faithful, enjoy this moment, enjoy this phase that you are in right now, and trust God to help you maximize every opportunity when they present themselves. So till we meet again next week,